Everybody ready, folks? Okay. We're just here to give you an update. Joe Esposito, the Commissioner for Emergency Management. Kathryn Garcia from Sanitation and Trottenberg from DOT. Just an update on where we were and what we're expecting. We're in touch with National Weather Service. There's a winter weather advisory through 6 p.m. tonight. Wintry mix, freezing rain, sleet. It's going to change back to snow. If you go outside right now, you can see the snow already changing back. What we anticipate would be all of this standing slush and rain is going to flash freeze as the temperatures drop into the 20s tonight. We would expect maybe a half inch of ice, and this snow is going to now cover the ice. So very slippery conditions on the roads and the sidewalks. Wind chills tonight going to be below zero, and we'll be monitoring it right through the end of the event. OEM, we're dealing with the agency partners. We've been open upstairs right from the beginning of the event. Our partners are up there with us. We'll continue to stay open until the event is over, at least until late tonight, early tomorrow morning. I'd like to bring up Kathryn Garcia, the Sanitation Commissioner. A little update on what Sanitation's been up to.
So as you know, we were out all last night and all of today with our full forces. So we've had over 2,400 sanitation workers and over 2,400 pieces of equipment, which also includes our agency partners. We anticipate that we will be primarily relying on our salters as we move into the evening hours and on the overnight, because we do anticipate icing conditions. The plows will be less effective unless the snow that is falling now gets to be over 2 inches. We will be collecting recycling this evening for the Monday collections on the overnight, and anticipate being back on collections tomorrow. We also will have our skid steers and snow laborers out tomorrow to try and deal with the crosswalks and the bus stops and those sort of small tool areas. Thank you.
DOT continues in really assisting sanitation. We've got 400 personnel out working. Particularly our focus is on ensuring the bridges are moving safely, overpasses. We've also got 100 folks helping you with plowing, and we have canceled alternate side of the street parking. We suspended alternate side of the street parking for tomorrow, and we'll take a look as needed tomorrow when we see how the weather is shaping up. Right now, ferry operations are normal, and just like to thank all our men and women who are out in the field today along with sanitation.
Just some general tips. We keep using the term common sense. Try and use mass transit if you can. It's going to be very slippery conditions out there. If you have to drive slowly. Maybe leave work a little earlier before it really does, the freeze does kick in. Use major streets if you have to drive. Hopefully they'll be a little clearer than the side streets. Be careful walking. Some of those sidewalks that were slushy today are going to be ice. We ask the public, please get out there if you can and take care of some of that. Put some salt down, shovel it if it's shovelable. Beware of the cars. If you're crossing, you're crossing the street, sometimes we expect those cars to stop, and they may not be able to stop as quickly as they normally could. So be very, very careful. Seniors, again, be very careful. You got to go out and walk. We don't want you slipping and breaking any bones. So again, try and stay indoors if you can. Check on your neighbors. We have people that are homebound. We have people that are elderly. Some of the people that are sick. They can't get out, or maybe they need something. Maybe you can provide them with something they need to eat, or something like medication. So check on your neighbors if you haven't seen them, or at least call them up. Sign up for Notify NYC. Updates as much as you can. We'll update you as much as we can. And again, the public, if you feel up to it and you're healthy enough, go out and maybe help us clear some of this standing water, so we don't get those flooding conditions. With the catch basins, if you're by the corner, maybe you can clear some of that for us, and maybe some of this water will drain away. All right. Thank you very much. Questions?
Will any more of the subway trains be shut down?
No, we had the one incident with the seven train, and that really wasn't weather related. Well, in a way, I guess it was. Someone dropped an umbrella on the track, hit the third rail, and cut the service. And then what happened was, because of the non-running of the trains, an icing condition built up on the rails, so it prevented the train. Now we had to de-ice those rails, but that was really an umbrella that hit the third line. But again, you can expect some slower commutes as far as buses and trains because of the conditions. Anything else?
Can you compare sort of what you're expecting for this evening versus what you had this morning for the commute?
Well, what happened last night was just what Weather Service was going to happen. Well, I said they were going to happen. It snowed heavy over the night and caused all this. It heated up with the rain today, made very slushy conditions. So it was messy, it was nasty, but you got wet, but you were able to get through and drive, I guess, a lot safer than you're going to be able to drive tonight. Tonight we're expecting a lot more of the icing. I think it'll be more dangerous driving and walking tonight than it was early today, the AM rush.
And just in terms of the sanitation department's focus now, are you done with the plowing operation? Are you continuing that? And what's the salting and sanding
Certainly,
operation?
we are basically done with the plowing operation unless the accumulations from this bout of snow reaches plowable depth. We have had to go back in and do some additional work during the day on some of the secondaries and tertiary streets, but our primary focus has been widening out and trying to get to those crosswalks and bus stops. Our first focus this morning out of the gate was on the schools. We are continuing all of our salt spreading across the city with all of that equipment because we think that that's the most effective against what we're going to see tonight. We've also upped our use of calcium chloride, which makes salt more effective at lower temperatures.
Anything else, folks?
How can drivers, residents help you do your job today and tonight?
So, I mean, one of the things that we're concerned about is there is a lot of standing water on the street from the rain that we had today. So, if anyone can get and help the water get to a catch basin, that would be very helpful. If you were very good about shoveling and salting this morning, think about reapplying because there has been rain all day and it's likely to start icing over. Make sure you're looking in on your neighbor. If you are shoveling, try and make sure you're making it wide enough for the people who are disabled, and be cognizant of if you're taking snow off your sidewalk that you're not piling it in front of one of DOT's devices for the visually impaired. So those are some of the things that you can do. And then, of course, one of the most important is make sure that you clear around the fire hydrant.
So is that why we're seeing these puddles like right at the curb and right at the corners where people are like sinking down almost more than a foot?
Yes, no, the corners are very, very messy. We had a lot of rain, and so the water is not getting to the drainage infrastructure of the city, whether or not that's because it's blocked by a snowbank or for some other reason. And so just creating a little bit of a drain for it will get that water off the street, and therefore it won't freeze.
And your plows can't do that?
The very big plows are not very effective at getting at a corner. We primarily use the snow laborers who will come in tomorrow, but we are using our smaller skid steers, which look sort of like a bobcat, as well as our pickup trucks and holsters, which are slightly bigger pickup trucks with salt on them.
Did you say you have 2,400 pieces of equipment?
Yeah, we've had 2,400 pieces of equipment. That includes our plows and our salt spreaders. As the plows become less effective, and we will be relying primarily just on our salt spreaders, which are about 500 pieces of equipment.
I'm sorry, and your 2,400 workers, are they on like 12-hour?
They've been on 12-hour shifts. We're going to transition them starting in the morning back to their normal schedule.
Okay. And for the DOT commissioner, how much of a concern are potholes, and have you had any thoroughfares where the potholes have been particularly bad, since this is really pothole weather?
This is tough weather, and there's no question. We've had every time we know there's going to be some kind of a storm event like we're having, we get our crews out ahead of time to try and do a survey of streets where we're seeing a lot of potholes, and we're up to already this winter, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we're up to about 30,000. There's no question tough weather like this and the plowing and the salting does take its toll on the roads, but our crews will be working long and hard to make sure we keep on top of them.
All right, folks. Thank you very much. Thank you.